Yo, what up, man? It's your boy Joe Barber here at the crib. It is actually I don't have my glasses on. It's like nine. It's about to be 9:58 right now, and I was having my morning coffee. I got some tacos. I was just thinking. I've been trying to really work on my intuition lately. I've been trying to get within myself and realize what my purpose is in life, right? And why I'm so driven and why I feel so empowered. Why do I feel so like I have these gifts that are not meant just for me to, keep inside of me. It's meant for me to be able to use to empower people and to lead people and to do things to help people. Um, and I've never felt it this strong in my life. Like I've never even been in tune with it really. I've always cared about people. I've always been the one to look out for somebody, and like I've taken losses. I've done stuff like I said where I care about people and I want them to care back. But I've come to the realization that some people have not been cared for, so they don't know how to care for themselves. Therefore, they can't care for you. They can't reciprocate your energy because they've never been introduced to it. They've been programmed and they have trauma growing up. They have a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities. I have a lot of insecurities and fears that I dealt with, and it's okay, And sometimes people like me or people like us, if you're listening to this video, you wonder why you always have to deal with broken people, right? You're like, man, how come I care about these guys and I care about this person and they don't care about me back the way I care about them? And it's like, because on your journey right now that you're on, you're being led to a greater purpose, and that's part of your, it's like it's part of your gift, but it's also your curse, because you got to be able to deal with it, and you have to love yourself enough to deal with it. And it's a crazy it's a crazy way of looking at things, because you keep my dogs are silly. So you keep thinking about the why, and it's not so much dwelling on the part of people not reciprocating it. You just keep wondering, why am I going through this cycle of always helping people and nobody helps me back? I help people, nobody helps me back. I help people. So it's like, that's your gift. Your gift is to love and to share wisdom and to share strength, to share guidance, to share all that. But you have to love yourself enough to know and recognize who's draining you and who you're pouring into. Those are the key factors in today's message, man. It's just like, you got to know who you're pouring into, that is going to be worth pouring into. And what I mean by that, not the word worth. I don't want it to mean like there's people that are worth more than others. It's not that. Some people are prepared to receive blessings and some people are not. Some people's mentality is not in the right state. They're constantly the victim. They're constantly like doing negative. They're constantly thinking negative, or they're surrounded by people that are just really negative. And when you bless them, it's like they're not going to appreciate it. They're going to take it as more like, you're supposed to do this for me, instead of like, oh my goodness, gratitude, thank you, and touching their heart and opening their spirit to really receiving. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to those kind of things. And I'm working on that myself, of recognizing who I would like to reach, who I would like to help, and not specifically individuals, but like things that I see, because their actions will always show what they're trying to accomplish in life. And is it about a selfishness that they're fulfilling a desire for themselves, or are they fulfilling a purpose? And that's the thing. People need to fulfill their purpose in order for them to feel whole, and for them to feel loved, and for them to feel like, you don't need an outside source. I don't need my spouse to love me. I love myself enough to know that whatever she brings to the table is just extra. And whatever I bring to the table is extra. She needs to love herself. I need to love myself and be at my best. And we bring our best together. And I really believe that. And I've learned that in these past few weeks. And that's what resonates in my mind. And it's the same thing with relationships, partnerships, across the board. with people that you grew up with, your friends, and it's that kind of, you have to bring your best. Like your friend has to bring his best or her best, and you bring your best, and both of y'all team up, and hey man, let's make this happen. And you have to be like just honest. And I feel like that's the message for today, just being honest with yourself. But you have to question yourself. Then that's the conversation. And I know it sounds crazy sometimes, man, but I'll tell you, for me, I have conversations with myself while I'm driving to work, right? If I'm not making these videos, I have conversations with myself wondering, like, man, Joe, why did you react that way? Or why did you let that happen? Or why didn't you say this? Or why didn't you say that? Or why didn't you make time to read? Why didn't you make time? Like, or why are you putting so much time into this instead of that? And those are the things that go through my mind. And I'm constantly asking myself, because at the end of the day, that's who I'm dealing with, is me. It's me versus me. Like, Joe, why do you make these decisions? Why do you make these either conscious decisions, or if you just make random decisions without thinking them through and processing the past, present, future type, like what's going to happen? What am I inheriting when I receive this? How am I going to deal with it, and where is it going to take me? Basically, that's the math that you got to use when you're accepting things, and or when you're making your decisions. But basically, that's the message for today. I wish y'all guys well, man. Whatever it is that you're doing in life, I really appreciate all the people that watch these videos. Even if it's 4 or 5 people, man, y'all are gonna see a great like revelation through me, and it's just I'm very blessed, man. I'm very excited that I've been chosen to be on this journey. From I want to just clarify too that I grew up from the dirt, man. I grew up in the projects. I grew up around a lot of violence, a lot of insecurities, a lot of just disconnection, man. I grew up around a lot of that, and I try to find it in friends. I try to find it in gangs. I try to find it in art. I try to find it in music. I try to find it in sports. I try to find it in relationships. I try to find it in my work, by doing my barbering stuff. And it took me all over the United States. And I was very passionate about the art, but it was more about reaching people. Like, it's not my gift of just doing artwork. It's the gift of my voice, being able to share. Like, I done been there and done that. So you can do it too, but you have to be in tune with who you are, and you have to accept your past, your trauma, deal with it, embrace it, move forward, and not have fear. Don't have the fear of rejection. Don't have the fear of failure. Losing sometimes is what you need to do in order for you to learn the lesson. But if you're constantly in that cycle of losing, because you're constantly thinking that, oh man, I'm just a loser, or I'm just attracting all these losses, or man, this is just my life. It's like, no, the reason you're going through that loss so many times is because you haven't learned. You need to learn why you keep going through that cycle, and then decide, like, okay, this has happened before. What am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? And then you proceed from there. And that's me, and that's the reason I can speak so confidently and say, like, guys, I've been through that, and I'm not trying to sell you a pill. I'm not trying to give you no magic potion. I'm not doing nothing of that. I'm asking you to simply look within yourself and understand that you were created for a purpose, and your purpose is something that makes you happy, that brings you joy. There's a lot of things inside of you that God's given you, and it's yours. It's like it's part of you. You're unlike any other person. God made you one of one. So there's no another Joe out there like me. There's not another you out there like you. You have so many distinctive things that you possess that you might not even know. And I advise you to look into it, man. Look into yourself and like really understand like what makes you happy. Think back. This is what's been given to me today. Think back when you were a kid, like that when you were young and vibrant, and you were just like, wow, man, like life is good, and nothing could take that away. And that's a very powerful thing to have that mentality. And that's how I feel now. I'm 41 years old, man. I feel like I'm 20, like for real. I still feel like I'm capable of doing things. I feel like yes, I need to I need to stop eating tacos, man. I told myself I bought 4 tacos. I ate one. I was like, you know what, Joe? You better not eat those other 3 because my my stomach was growling really bad, and I was just like, man, let me get these tacos. And then now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what, man? Maybe these 3 tacos are not for you, Joe. So hold off on it. I'm drinking my coffee. But anyway, man, hopefully this video reaches somebody that it needed to reach. Hopefully it motivates you, man. Hopefully it empowers you. And when I have some great news, I will share it with you guys. I'm really trying to stay low key. I'm trying to, keep my emotions under control. I've been having visions. I've been having like dreams of things, right? And of what I want to kind of like, manifest. I want to manifest. I want to create the life that I want for myself. And I know to some people that may sound a little off, but it's just something that in my journey where I'm going through, I have a real creative mind. That's how I'm able to do a lot of artwork, and I kind of lost that. I kind of traded my creativity and my happiness because I thought I needed to be a businessman. I needed to be solid on the foundation of building and understanding money and understanding, which I did. I grew a lot in that, but I feel like I can pay other people to do that for me. That's what they're good at, and go back to being creative again and feeling that warmth in my heart where I'm happy like a kid, or just riding my bike and enjoying music and enjoying playing basketball and just having fun, like just embracing the good days and the bad days. As far as the weather, we don't always have a beautiful, sky with sun and everything all the time. But we still have to embrace the rain because the rain brings forth the cleanliness that we need. It cleans up the world when it rains. Every time it rains, all what's in the street, all the dirt, it just washes it. And hey, man, let's start another. And then when the sun comes out, those are the best times, man. After the rain, like I know it gets a little bit hot and humid, but I'm saying like in my mind, when the rain comes, sometimes you're like, man, I hate this rain, the thunder, and you're just like, damn, I have to be inside. And we have that fear of like, man, I don't mean, I'm like, man, I hope lightning doesn't hit my house. I hope a tree doesn't fall. So it's like you start, manifesting the bad. And instead of saying, you know what, man, it's beautiful that it's raining. Sometimes it may get a little out of control, but I'm saying like, as far as the process, it's like, it's cleansing the world. It's feeding the earth. It's feeding the trees. It's, cleansing it for the animals. It's all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that we got to focus on that side. Not so much on the thunder and the lightning and man, the tree's gonna fall and blah blah blah. You can focus on all the car accidents. You can focus on all the bad stuff, the power going out, all that. But I just use that as an example, and that just came to me. I just use that as an example of saying like, look, man, there's always a way to look at a situation, and you can focus on all the bad, or you can focus on the good. And I'm just asking you to focus on the good, focus on your good, and hold on to that, and avoid people that are not like that are not like-minded. If they're constantly thinking negative, bro, you got to just kind of like step away from them, because it will ruin you to the point to where you start back again in that cycle. And it's like they're trying to suck you back down when you're trying to elevate. And that's what I'm trying to do myself, is elevate myself, my inner self, my mind, my spirit, my love. Like I don't want to lose. As much as I've been broken, as many times as I've been broken and hurt, I don't want to lose that love that I have for people, because that's something that no matter how much money you got, no matter what your status is, no matter how many people say they love you and all that kind of stuff, man, you never know what people's intentions are. But for you to have that gift of loving people, there's nothing that matches that, for you to have that. Because when you have love, you have mercy, you have compassion, like all that is intertwined with love. And that's why love is so powerful. And love is the most powerful energy that this world has, and that's what we have to embrace. We have to embrace that. And it has nothing to do with, like, I know, some people may think it has something to do with gender, and it has nothing to do with gender, man. It has everything to do with people. And that's what we are. We're all a ball of energies, all, we come in alone, we leave alone, dog. So it's like while you're here, make the best of it. Look for your purpose, look for why. Like, why am I here, man? Ask yourself those questions. I really want people to do that, man, because I trust me, man. I lived my life to where I just went from one situation to the next situation, and I feel like, yeah, man, I've had some successes, but they were not fulfilling. They were not like I wasn't driven like that. I was just like doing it because I loved it, but I didn't have direction. I was just like doing it, and it happened. Like things happen. I got a good results from it. I've got many blessings from it. But now that I feel like I'm in tune with myself, I'm like, wow. It's like I can turn it on and off when I want to. It's like it's mind blowing. So when it comes to art and when it comes to being creative, man, like that's awesome for me. It really is. So anyway, I guess I reached my end of this message, but I'm really grateful, guys. I really want to say thank you for watching the whole video. And like I said, if this is something that you needed to hear, I'm grateful, man. Even if it's two people, I don't care, because I already know what's coming and it's gonna be phenomenal. But I'm just like, the organic people that are really needing to hear this. That's why I want to hear it. Then when it gets out of control, it's kind of harder because then people want to follow because it's more of a like a trend and not organic. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not driven by anything other than me caring about people and me sharing my experience. That's all it is. It's just another outlet for me to share my experience and where people want to know how I got to where I'm at. People want to know the truth behind my drive in life. And this is it. I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, before it gets out of control and it gets kind of crazy, I'm telling you right now that this is what it is. And I'm very grateful. So hopefully, hopefully you receive this and it resonates in your heart and in your mind. And hopefully you can also reach a point to where you love yourself enough to move forward and don't put limitations on you, man. Like whatever it is that you want to do, if you're a barber, you want to be a barbershop owner, you want to be a school operator, you want to be an instructor, you want to be whatever it is, man. Just whatever it is, just make sure that it makes you happy. Make sure that you're not sacrificing your peace. Make sure you're not putting yourself in a position to where you're not in control of you and your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll give you an example before I close out. I was offered a $250,000 contract by a client of mine. It was a year contract. He didn't want me to cut anybody else. He just wanted me to cut him. He was so adamant about me signing the contract that he came from Dallas, where he's from, all the way to San Antonio to my shop and brought his lawyer with him for me to sign this contract. Like he wanted me to be his barber. Like wherever he goes and wherever he travels, I was gonna be his guy. I was gonna do his beard and shave his head, and wherever he went, take care of him, take care of his, his little crew, his driver, whoever. Um, man, we reached out to a few lawyers. They looked at the contract and they're like, man, this dude's gonna own you, like basically. So I turned it down. I turned it down, and then a lot of bad things happened in my life with my son getting sick, and of course, finances, things that really, it gets to a point to where like, damn, did I make a mistake? That I make a mistake because I need money, and not so much like the money to flex. Like I always say that in my videos, it's not that. It's just about empowering us. That's a tool that we can use to help my son, to help, my ex-wife, to help, my whatever, like, people that I care about, people that need, and it's like, it's not that they don't handle money right for most part. It's just they're overwhelmed with a lot of things going on in life and they have a lot of responsibilities. At least a lot of the people that come to my mind right now when I talk about, man, if I had $1 million in the bank right now, these are the people that I would help. It's not that they manage money wrong. It's that they have a lot of responsibilities, whether it's taking care of their parents, taking care of kids, working two jobs, or doing things like that, where it's like, man, they're busting their butt, but it's just there's a lot of obstacles, and a lot of times they're not in tune with themselves. They're like they're going through the cycle, like the cycles that I went through, and that's what I see. But I just wanted to throw that out there to let you guys know that no matter what, man, like you have to be true to yourself, and you have to have dignity in your life, dignity in yourself, man. Big time. And I respect so many people that way, and I don't care how much money you got, and I don't care what your status is. I know people, you know what I'm saying, that drive a Honda, bro, and they got bread, like they got money, and they don't act like it. They don't care about it. They got a big old ranch. They come from really, really humble beginnings, and and they're good, but they have a lot of pain in their life, whether it's they dealt with something with surgery, and they serve in the military, and they, things happen to them. But I see that, and I was like, man, we've all been through some kind of trauma, and even though we have that gift of the finances taken care of, it's not always as fulfilling. But for some people it is, because it empowers you. And that's what I feel with me. I feel like once I don't have to worry about my finances that way, I feel like, man, I could empower so many people. I can travel. I can go to schools. I can open my schools and spread out like a wildfire. And then I'm gonna attract the same people that are just like me, and we're all gonna make a difference. And that's what I want. That's like my dream. Um, and that's, like I said, I want to empower people that are around me. Whether you already have a hustle, whether you already have like it's what I mean is, like, if you have a passion, whether it's cooking food, or whether it's singing, or whether it's playing music, or whether it's taking care of dogs. Like, if I man, and that's me. Like, I always want to save dogs. I love dogs. I love pit bulls. They have a bad name, a bad rep, but I love dogs. And I'm like, man, if I had the money to, I would buy land and turn it into like a pit bull sanctuary. I would also start a nonprofit organization for kids that have lymphoma, because my son went through that. So it's like, that is what we've experienced, that pain. And now I know how those people feel and what's going through their mind when you're in that, like, oh my goodness, this is like painful, or whatever it may be. Like, there's people that I know that we've experienced things, and I know what it feels like to have to bury your father, and your grandma or whatever, and you lose a loved one, and you lose that connection, and maybe that connection was never there. But even with my father not being in my life, I resented him for a while, because I always wanted someone, and I guess it always that resonates with me with the Fresh Prince episode, where the dad walks out on Will, and Uncle Phil's there to, console him, and hug him and love him. I know that hit a lot of dudes. A lot of dudes, it hit them like, poof, like, oh damn, man, and you wanna let go, and of course, even now when I think about it, I'm way better at controlling my emotions now, and I'm happy for that, because my brain doesn't tell me what to do. I tell my brain what to do, and that's the great thing about accomplishing that. But what I want to say about that is, my dad, when he walked out on us, he was dealing with whatever. I don't know what he was dealing with. I don't know what bad energy. I don't know if he had, whatever demons he was dealing with, and whatever deals he made with his life, he was not in mine. So I resented him for that. But then I found out, like, through time, I would talk to him, and I would see him. And I know he wanted to be in the light with God, but I felt like there was always something holding him back. And I felt like it was guilt. I felt like it was the guilt of him not being there, and him making bad decisions and giving into his sin. It's not, there's no, I want to say this too, and I'm going to add this to what my dad went through. It's like, you don't get punished for sin. Your sin is your punishment. Whatever it is that you're addicted to, that's your sin, and that's what punishes you, and it brings all that bad stuff. And I realized that. So by my dad not being there, it made me become the father that I am now. By him being absent, it showed me how I felt by him not being there. So being there for my kids was always at the top of my list of me being with my boys. So, and being a great father. So sometimes you need that absence of things, whether it's money, whether it's family, whether it's,